What is the biggest memory you've had working in a pub?
I've had some great times here. I mean, we've had, we took on a target of raising 50,000 for a local hospital's cancer unit, and we thought we'd do it across a year, and we had a couple of events, and we did it pretty quick. The community came out in force, and we've had bands from all over the world turn up, and
Wow.
who've gone on to be like superstars in their own right. I've been here 25 years, so we've had some great times,
So have you noticed a change in the customers, the footfall?
Yeah, very much in the last 6 months.
And what is been the reason, do you think?
The cost of living. The people who drink in here haven't got any money, and consequently our turnover's dropped drastically over the last 6 months.
And then, is there still been locals coming in?
Yeah, we still get
regulars?
locals. It's still like a level of trade that's comparable with most local pubs. But this used to be a really good pub. It used to be busy. It used to be the focus of this whole community.
And how do you get people to come in? With the cost of living, how do you do
We've done everything. We've done like a cost-cutting menu with the drinks prices. We've put on free events. We've put on free food events. We've had, towards the end of the summer, barbecues, family fun days. We've done all the things we always did. But sadly, our customers, and as you can see looking around you, it's not a particularly wealthy area.
No.
And they're feeling the pinch as we are.
Yeah, and I know that supermarkets are undercutting prices, so does that affect your
Yeah, they are our biggest enemy, without any shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
What they get away with on a national scale is a disgrace, in my opinion.
And what do you think should be in place?
Well, I think they should pay the same amount of VAT as we do.
Yeah. And is there anything you wish that the government put in place to make this a better thriving like it used to be?
Well, I've always believed that you've got to prop up the bottom end of society, because they're the ones who spend money. Making the rich richer, and I know it's an awful term, but making the rich richer doesn't help the economy, because rich people save their money, poorer people spend their money, and the sooner any government realizes that, then that's the best thing that can possibly happen for the economy.
And I know that the budget just came, it's coming in with the government, and it's going to put up the taxes and national insurance and everything. Will that affect your...
Well, that's already happened, and that did affect us. I mean, we only have 8 staff here, so we haven't felt it like some pubs have. I've heard horror stories of pubs being thousands of pounds a month worse off.
Yeah.
And I think what you're referring to is the increase in business rate, or the taking back of the relief that they offered through COVID. But they announced yesterday that they're going to have a second think about that.
Yeah.
And they're going to water down.
Do you have any hopes for that?
Well, it'll make a little bit of difference. I mean, to me at this pub here, it would have cost us an extra £3,500 every year, which we haven't got.
Yeah.
And to bigger pubs, in some cases, 10, 20 and £30,000 a year more. So it's a good thing that they've decided to have a second think about that. But really, they need a fundamental change of approach.
Yeah.
Because, the people who support the economy, the people who spend their wages or spend their benefits or spend their money's being drained away from them by the cost of living and by the constant attacks on, vulnerable people, really. The people on benefits, we treat them like successive governments treat them like the crooks. And, that's not right. That's not right.
What does the pub industry mean to you?
Well, everything. I mean, all my business for the last 25 years has revolved around pubs. And I like to think, I know what people want, and that's what we try and give them. But everything's so expensive now. Everything you buy, the beer you buy from the brewer, the stuff you buy from the wholesalers, cash and carries, everything's, people say it's gone up 10%. Some things are doubled in price since COVID. And it's just, you can't do that. You can't pay more for stuff and have less people spending money in your outlets. It's that businesses are only going one way. And I've got friends who've lost their pubs
Yeah.
and hotels and restaurants just in the last week. In fact, yesterday, and I probably personally know 20 people who've lost their businesses in the last six months, and a lot more are going to go the same way.
Yeah, it is about like 8 pubs a week, like
I
closing
think,
down,
well,
probably more.
I read that, but I think it's more than
Yeah, I
that.
think so too. Because like it was like 2000, so it was like 70,000 pubs, and then 2025 there's about like 40,000.
Yeah, well, there you go. You know, you've lost half the estate in 5 or 6 years,
Yeah.
and it's just too much. It's somebody has to say enough's enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have a look at the supermarket profits, they're in the billions of pounds, and they're paying tiny amounts of VAT on stuff we pay 20% for.
Yeah, because there's the supermarkets. There's also like the local corner shops. That
Well,
you,
absolutely. You can buy a pint of Carling in Sainsbury's for 90p,
yeah, that's the issue.
and
Because
it's
everyone's
£4 in here.
Yeah, that's why. But what is it? It's like the social aspect of coming to the pub.
Well, I think so. I think pubs are vital for communities.
Yeah.
They're absolutely vital. I mean, as Rupert Lowe said the other day in his long post, he said the reason town centres are a mess is because the pubs have closed.
Yeah, you go down in the Gateshead High Street,
Yeah.
every single pub's closed.
Well, in 1970, there was 37 pubs on that high street.
Wow.
And here we are in 2026, and there's 2 now.
Do you have any hopes for the future? What do you fear?
I think it needs a dramatic change for this industry to survive, really. And I mean, I'm not even going, I don't want to talk too much about it, but the amount of people who, even for mental health reasons, rely on a local pub, it's huge. It's some people's only contact with other human beings.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's apart from anything else, and it's a bit of a cliche, but it's what it is to be British.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say, it's like the culture of England, Britain.
And it's being withered away, and somebody needs to do something to stop it. And there's too many people, if you read, even the newspapers are behind this industry now. It's gone too far. They have to do something to help. And real help, reduce VAT to the sort of levels that they charge supermarkets. Why are they so special?
Yeah. I mean, they get so many customers already. Like, so many people are saying, why should I go to a bar? I can just go and get £10 a bottle.
Yeah. But it's so cheap because they don't have the same amount of duty we do.
Daily, like football matches, I guess.
Oh, absolutely.
Live
but I mean, all of those things cost money.
Yeah.
I pay £800 a month for Sky and £500 a month for TNT so that people can come in and watch it.
I guess you're also competing with other pubs, like local pubs.
Well, yeah, of course.
And like how do you go about that?
Well, to be honest, we tend to be, I've always took the stance that I can't compete with anybody on price. Yeah. So I try and make my prices competitive without trying to be, silly about it. I've got to make some money because I've got staff to pay, and I've got rent to pay, and I've got bills to pay. The utility bills, gas and electric, are astronomical. They're 5 times what they were 10 years ago. And all of those things piled on top of each other make this the most challenging time I've ever known. Yeah.
So do you think it's going to get better? Do you just...
I don't really have any hope that it's going to get better. I just think people like me have got to find other ways to try and survive until it does.
Is there multiple pubs you own too?
Yeah, I've got a few pubs, yeah.
And are they doing well?
No, they're all in the same boat. Spiraling costs and dwindling customer bases.
So do you think whichever political party comes in?
Yes, because...
Do you think it's all going to be the same?
The people making the right noises towards hospitality are always the people in opposition. It's easy to say you're going to do this when you're not in power.
Yeah, and then they get
But this lady who's the current chancellor, I have no faith in her whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't think she understands the industry. I'm not even sure she understands her own job.